Hello, folks. It's me again, Amanda Enderman, your trusty tour guide in the wonders of the wonderful city, also known as Rio de Janeiro. And on this video, I'm gonna talk about a man which I have often mentioned in several other videos, and I will leave those videos for you right up here in the cards in case you guys want to see, and I hope that you do, which is Gomes Freire de Andrade. But before I get right into the theme of the video, I have to remind you that I'm currently offering walking tours in several places of the city of Rio, and all of those that I'm currently offering are listed on my website. And if you want to check them out, all you have to do is click the link, which will be in the description box below, as well as in the first fixed comment, and then you can just text me on WhatsApp, make a reservation, and let's get to know the city of Rio in person, with yours truly guiding you, of course. Now, to hop right on to the theme of the video, Gomes Freire de Andrade wasn't a man of noble birth, but his family greatly stood out in Portugal because of their feats in terms of military efforts as well as overseas. And his father, Bernardino Freire de Andrade, fought in the Spanish War of Succession.
Amanda, which war was that? The Spanish War of Succession? I have no idea what that was.
The Spanish War of Succession, which is represented right over here in these 4 pictures that I have brought you, 4 in 1. Fancy that, was a war which began because of the death of this young man over here, which is King Charles II, also known as the last Habsburg King of Spain. You may already have heard about him because there are several videos about him in several social media platforms, especially highlighting the fact that he is a textbook case of how intermarriages in the same family, the harm that they can do. I'm talking, yes, about marriages between first cousins, niece and uncle, nephew and aunt, father and daughter, or brothers, or that kind of thing. Long ago, this was a very common practice. In fact, even Queen Victoria of England herself was married to her cousin, Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. And as a result, hemophilia and porphyria ran wild in that family, and in fact it was through several marriages along the future generations that hemophilia made its way to the dynasty of the Romanovs in Russia.
Okay, Amanda, but it's one birth defect and nowadays it's easily treatable. So what's the problem?
Along the generations, if intermarriages within the same family are repeated, it may have dire consequences. And this young man over here is the textbook case of it. Because you see, the Habsburgs married within their family so much along the generations and so close, and they didn't even care about this. They weren't aware of the consequences. And the consequences in his case were that he had very weak health, and he had a serious case, as you can see by this picture, of the Habsburg jaw, which was a genetic defect, which if there hadn't been so many marriages within the same family, it wouldn't have been very noticeable. In fact, Queen Marie Antoinette of France had a little bit of Habsburg jaw, which made her appear like she was constantly pouting, but it wasn't so bad because from the 1700s, the Habsburgs noticed that, oh my God, we can't do this anymore. So they started still marrying within royal families, of course, but at least not so much close kins. And back to the case of this young man, he had very weak health. His Habsburg jaw was very heightened. It was practically dentists watching. You know better than I that if you are born with your jaw like this, it's very hard to chew things, and this may even make it hard to feed oneself. And as a consequence, you don't get nourished enough. Because imagine not being able to chew your food properly. And in his case, it was even said that when they performed the autopsy, there was a lot of water in his brain. It was very weird. And growing up, even, he only managed to walk and talk far later than a normal and healthy child would. But going back to Gomes Freire, because the video is about Gomes Freire and not about this young man over here, God rest his soul. Gomes Freire was born in Jurumenha in the region of Alentejo in Portugal.
But Amanda, where is this? I've never been to Portugal. I don't know anything about Portugal.
Listed over here are the main rivers of continental Portugal. Keep in mind that the islands of Madeira and Açores are also part of Portugal, but in the continent, these that are listed over here are the main rivers of Portugal. And among them is the Tejo River, which cuts through the city of Lisbon, the capital of Portugal. So the region of Alentejo is in the south of Portugal. As you can see in this other map, it's south of Lisbon and north of the Algarve. And it's a very rural region of Portugal. And unfortunately, there's a stereotype in Portugal regarding the people who are born in this region, that they are lazy, that they're slow, that sort of thing. However, Gomes Freire is living proof that this could not be more false. So he was born here in 1685, or some sources say that he was born in 1688, and he was the fourth of 10 children. Oh my goodness. Those of you who come from big families like this, leave it in the comment section below. What's your experience like? The good parts, the bad parts. I'm an only child, so I would love to know. Anyways, he studied in the Real Colégio das Artes e Humanidades in Coimbra, which is this place over here. This is looking from the courtyard, and this is looking from inside the hallway that you can see over here. And it's not possible to be sure, besides Greek and Latin, rather he learned French and Spanish, because you see he dropped out in order to fight also in the War of Spanish Succession. And probably in the 1720s was when he became close to the nobility. And he received several titles already in this time. He was a noble scout, a member of the Order of Christ, remember that I mentioned in other videos as well. And also he was a member of the council of this king over here, which is Dom João V of Portugal, as well as a member of the council of this other king over here, which is Dom José I of Portugal. And finally, in 1758, he received the title of Count of Bobadilla. And his military experience, as well as his prudence and loyalty, led him to receive the title as well of governor of the province of Rio in 1733. As a matter of fact, he was truly a visionary. Before Rio became the capital of Brazil in 1763, he made Rio develop and grow in order to be worth the title of capital. He was responsible for a huge part of the development of the city of Rio in the 18th century, which I have already mentioned in other videos as well, which of course I will leave in the cards up here for you guys to see as well. And he did so well for the city of Rio that in 1735 he accumulated 2 positions of governor. Yes, back then you could be the governor of 2 different provinces, mind you. And he was also the governor of the province of Minas. However, in 1752, he had to go to the south of Brazil with the mission of making sure that the treaty, which gave the Colônia do Sacramento, which was a Portuguese domain, to Spain, and in exchange gave the colony of Sete Povos das Missões, 7 peoples of the missions, to Portugal, which before that was in Spanish domain. So basically a switcheroo between Portugal and Spain, and he went there to make sure that the switcheroo actually took place. But when he did so, he left his brother in his place as governor of Rio and Minas. And unfortunately, he died in the year of 1763 when Rio became the capital of Brazil. So he did not live to see Rio be the capital of Brazil. Oh my goodness. It happens often in history. The leaders who work toward the goal oftentimes don't get to see the goal being achieved. But he was very much honored because ever since 1760, when the representatives, which were in exercise back then, ordered this portrait of him to be painted, and this portrait of him still exists in the City Hall of Rio to this day. So folks, this concludes this video about Gomes Freire de Andrade, and I hope you liked the video. And if you did like the video, be sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and most important of all, share this video with as many people as you possibly can so that each time more people may know about the wonders of the wonderful city. And as usual in this channel, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!